Hey everybody, give me a few minutes here. I gotta got a lot to deal with. Everything is still in chaos from when I was scrambling to pack for vacation. So I need to get my iPad out, get my planner, do all the things. So yeah, it's been a week, a long one, and it's only Wednesday. Lord. And there's no interconnection on my iPad. Perfect. That's the best. All right, there we go. And where are the comments? Oh my gosh. Why is this not popping up? Did Facebook change something? Tell me Facebook did not. There we go. Okay, cool. And everyone. Did they stop allowing you to tag everybody? Oh my goodness. I wonder if I have to do it in here. Okay. Stand by for a second. Why is this not working? Sorry. It's not a thing anymore? Did Facebook change it? Oh my goodness. Well, I'm just gonna try to do that at everyone, even though I feel like it's not gonna work. So we will see. Let's see what's happening. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna do it, because why is this not working? All right, well, it is what it is. Let me see if I can do it on the post. Like in, nope, that's not it. What is happening right now? All right, well, it is what it is. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to tag you all. All right, but got a lot of work to do today. Definitely have to do our May monthly. I would love if I can get at least one of, at least this week, preferably the next 2 weeks done. It's gonna be a long shot. I did go ahead and pre-plan out my mood tracker. All I'm gonna do is add like May moods to the top of this. Not in that one. Because I really don't like to sit here and trace when I'm on these. I did use our raindrops stencil. I use like mostly the bigger ones. And then one of the eras, I traced the guitar, and I kind of put as many guitars in there as I could. I knew I wasn't going to fit 31, but I wanted to do that for like teardrops on my guitar, obviously. But mostly because it was just something a little smaller that would fit too, so it was kind of like a double. So not sure if it's that obvious, but this month's album is going to be debut. I thought like for spring, like it just seems like a very springy album, right? Like, all right, so this will open up like this, and on this page I'm going to do our one good line a day. These ones go kind of quickly, so I like to get these ones out of the way really fast. And then after all this, I'll kind of like add in some fun stuff. Hi, I can't see who joined for some reason, but hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. Right now I am looking for something kind of debut-y. I feel like this is very debut, even though I used it also for, what's the last one? Fearless. I might just do it though. I'm a little tired. I've got a lot going on, and I just feel like I'm kind of at the point where I'm just like, just do something. Could do just butterflies. Let's just do butterflies. I feel like that works too. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna pull out the stickers that I'm using. The main Taylor Swift ones that are specifically. So I've got one sheet from the sticker party, and that's kind of like a teal. The main ones I have are from Sugar Pop Fizz, and that's definitely more, I do also have one from Adorably Amy. So we have a lot of blues and greens, and a little bit of like yellowy and orange in there too. So I'm gonna kind of, definitely gonna want to match, that's the right word. Match like this blue. And I'm actually bringing like a couple of colors of green in here just to kind of give it a little variety. And maybe like a darker one too. Alright. We're going to start with these two because I think these are going to be like our two main ones. And then we'll see about adding in a little bit of the other colors too. So for this, these are going to be the inside of our Dutch doors. And I'm going to tape them this way so they fold up this way. So I just want to kind of like make sure I'm doing it the right way every time. And for this one specifically, if you haven't watched the series, this is for, shoot. I have stuff everywhere, you guys. I really need to clean this desk up. This is for my, I like to write one good thing that happens every day. And that's kind of because sometimes it's hard to like appreciate, you know, have like gratitude for things that happen and like see the good things that are happening around you. I know like when my dad died, it was very hard for me. Like that was a huge struggle. And so this is something I started doing then, or shortly after then. It has become something I just like doing because, I don't know, like sometimes it's nice to look back on, and sometimes it's just nice to think of in the moment. And like, even if it's hard to think of something that happened that was good today, to be able to be like, yeah, you know, this was a really bad day, but also my nephew hugged me. It was a bad day, but I got ice cream. Or it was a bad day full stop, but tomorrow is Friday. You know what I mean? Like, I find that to be something that I find value in. And if it's something you find value in, then this is something you could do too. If it's not, like, you can pick this page as a tracker of something. You know, if you're doing moods on one page, this might be like water or reading or savings or whatever. Like, it can be whatever you want. And I find that that's one of the things I really love about doing a bullet journal, is that it can be what I need it to be. And if I need it to be something that reminds me that there's good in the world, then that's what it is. Like today, my thing is going to be, after so freaking long, after 3 years of the PWHL, Detroit, it was announced today that we're getting a team next season. And if you know me at all, you know that I'm a hockey fan. And if you know a little bit about me, I have been to every single one of the PWHL takeover games in Detroit. Bought tickets for all of them right away. And it's been something I've really enjoyed over the last few years. And so us getting a team is just the coolest thing for me. I played hockey in high school. I wanted to play when I was little and wasn't allowed to because the boys had just started checking. So this is like a huge day for me. and I'm so excited. Hi, Cynthia. So, like, that's definitely gonna be my one good thing for today. Like, I'm so excited. Alright, let's just pop in a few more of these butterflies. So on this page, I kind of just like to do something, like, short and sweet, usually pretty quick down the side here. To be honest, this is probably a little taking longer than they normally take. Alright. I think this is also a good thing for, like, a happiness thing, too. I'm going to put that to the side because we're definitely still going to use that later. And then up here, I'm just going to write, like, May, one good thing a day. And then I just number it with the days. I had to think for a second. For some reason, I was like thinking that I did this wrong. And on these pages, I really don't put stickers because this is kind of just a lot of tracking. But I totally could. Like I said, I'm just going to number this 1 through 31. And since we do have a little bit of room on the bottom there, what I could do is I have some washi tape from Creativity and Ink. And add a little bit of that on the bottom. I got these a couple years ago at I think I'll actually just add it all the way across the bottom. I was going to cut it off so you can see the butterflies, but I feel like you get the picture, right? And I don't get to use washi tape enough, so I feel like if there's like a ready-made excuse there, just gotta do it. I don't know where I put my clear there. I do like to kind of round this off. I could use a corner rounder, but I don't feel like digging it out. And then I'll just cut this off there. So there is our one good thing a day. And our mood trackers. So these will actually go like this in the book, and then this will fold into our cover page, which is what we're going to do now. So the first thing we'll do is we'll get our beads. A little bracelet. I have all my months tangled together. Probably pretty stupid, but it is what it is. So I just need M, A, and Y. I do kind of love that we have the whole month name though. There's Y. And there's A. Perfect. Let's get the rest back in there so I don't lose them, which is a common theme. Let's try to get this better view for you guys. Alright, so then for this, I like to start kind of ish, mid-page ish. And then, of course, I like to use the edge of the stencil and the lines on the dot grid to kind of make sure it looks straight, or straight enough. And then I will also, what I meant to do with this piece is to just kind of temporarily hold this down. And then the first thing I do is I just trace around this. Give myself the beads. And if you don't like how big this one is, our bracelet builder kit does have a smaller. Bead choice, I guess. I don't know. But it doesn't have the inserts. You just basically use the alphabet, or you could use whatever font you really want. All right, and now I'm gonna trace this. And just as quick as I can, kind of color it in with my pen. This kind of is like what takes the longest of all of this, to be honest. Especially when you're using a pen and it's like a fairly fine point. And then you have a letter like M where it's so big. Not the best idea. But I still do it, so. So then after I do this, obviously I'll repeat it with all the letters, and then it becomes like a kind of a deciding which colors I want beads for. And again, this is just something that kind of, you just have to decide if it fits the vibe of the album. Like I said, this month is debut, and that's because it's like springy, and I just feel like, you know, like it's very floral, so that like just reads Mother's Day to me, and I wasn't going to do it in April because I had other plans for April. And then I just kind of eyeball like the middle of the A. And again, just as quickly as I can, just kind of color in as much as possible. I keep forgetting there's not an actual piece here to stop me, because usually when I'm coloring like this, I'm just going between the things and letting the side of it stop me. But I did kind of forget there. And then finally we'll do our Y. And when I'm doing this, I'm just kind of fitting them in to the best of my ability. This one seems like it's a little large for the hole, but it's easy enough to snap in and kind of hold it. But you can kind of see how I do the coloring, where I just kind of bounce it back and forth between the two. It doesn't really take a lot of work that way. But something like the A where there's not in the middle, I just totally forgot about it. I almost went right through the center. Okay. All right, so let me put these back again so I don't lose them. And then peel that up, and you can see that we have the beads plus the letter beads and kind of our May thing. And if you haven't been here before, what I'm doing is I am putting together my May monthly calendar in my bullet journal. And this year, really, I have decided that it's going to be each month, since there's 12 Taylor Swift albums now, each month will be a Taylor Swift theme. So far I did Reputation in January, and you can see my January monthly is all Reputation themed. And then February I did Speak Now. Lots of purples and pinks and dragons. And then March, because of the colors, I did Life of a Showgirl. Lots of greens and oranges. And then April was Fearless, because it was my 40th birthday, and Fearlessly 40 sounded like a good idea. I need to update this. After I left for vacation, I didn't really touch my planner, even though I brought it with me. So lots to update in the last couple weeks. And like I said, I haven't even done my May monthlies or my May weeklies. So, not sure if it'll be this live, but it would be great if it is, to at least get like one weekly done. Might be a little bit of a tall task though. I think I'm going to lean into like the different greens and blues. Not too darker. I could also do like a white in here, but I think I'm just going to lean into it. And these beads can be whatever color you want, obviously. I mean, all this is, the point of this is to make it your own, to customize it with stuff that you like, etc. So obviously you can always change the colors of things. If you don't like something specifically, you don't have to do this design, obviously. In the next few days though, I will have all of, I'll have a blog link up that will have all the pictures. Oh no. I think my fan. Ooh, my fan just got out of battery and I don't have the plug up here. I took everything like down for vacation. I was gonna actually take my fan with me on vacation, so I forgot to grab the actual plug for it. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. I'll just be a little hot up here for a little bit. I don't love this green, but we're gonna roll with it. It is what it is. Okay. So there's the beginning of our May. The next thing I like to do is make a calendar over here. And that way, when I start making everything, I can reference that calendar too. So give me 1 second to grab. Oh, their stickers fell off. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Normally I do this with ink, but I think I'm just gonna do this maybe with a couple pens. Make it a little different. Got these two that'll work. Right. Actually really kind of like these three colors together, so maybe we'll do these three. So I'm just putting May. I think what I'll do is kind of like, so this will be like the days of the week. I'll do, usually do a Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Now the first, give me 1 minute, I'm gonna go off screen really quick so I can look at a calendar. The first was a Friday. So then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23. I think we're gonna have to go 2 more rows. 24, 25, 26, 29, 30, and 31. Alright, and I'm just gonna number that. It's funny that I make these because like my big one that has all the information is literally just going to be on the inside of these pages, but sometimes I like just having like a quick reference one where I can see where things are falling out and see what days things are. And maybe I don't want to open up my Dutch doors for the big calendar. I literally just need to see the date. That's kind of how I use this one. I feel like I'm gonna finish this one and be like, oh my god, you idiot, May does not have 31 days. I just can check the calendar though, so we're good. It was a thought that passed in my head real quick though. Not my finest, but it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna kind of just push these off to the side. Okay. So now the next thing I like to do is kind of check the vibe. Like, I'm going to look for these specific because, like, I feel like these have, like, very specific vibes to the stickers. Like, we've got daisies, which I don't think I'm going to bring in here, but I could. A lot of plaid, which I don't think will fit on here. Butterflies, cowboy boots, the birds. So I've got, like, some, flame. I guess I could, let me see if I have a daisy one. A smaller daisy. I know I have the big daisy. I can't remember if it was a small one though. I know it is in my, funnily enough, it's in my set of stencils that I want to release coming up. I don't think I'm going to get to that one though, because I have like a specific, I have a ton of other ones. So I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to get to that specifically one. But I have a ton. And why is this doing this? There it is. Oh, that's Halloween. This one is not it either. Hang on a minute. I just don't think I have a smaller daisy one. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm like having a hard time. But then again, like even if I do, like daisies are white. I could do like just a fun flower pattern though. We'll see. I'm so tired. I really just want to go to sleep. I do just have the big daisy though. We'll see. So I think I'm going to start with Because of Mary's Son, which is I'll be 87, you'll be 89. Oh, I didn't pull out the football one. And I don't feel like finding it. I should. But I feel like I've used the football one a lot, so maybe we won't use it. Let me, oh, there's the football one anyway. I found it really quickly because this is all the ones that I like pulled out to maybe use. I'm so tired right now. I'm just taking everything in me now to just be like, you know what? Actually, life's over. We're not gonna do that yet, at least. Let's start out by just doing. I feel like the butterflies are gonna be easily to like add in everywhere. So let's pick a bigger pattern. And I kind of really like this, like music-y-ish one. And I'm going to do this kind of in like an alternating blue and green. Let me wash it down real quick. Do this kind of softer so that if I want, I can kind of add some other stuff over it. And to do it this way, I'm just basically taking, hi Cynthia, thank you for joining. How are you doing? So I'm going to kind of make this pattern a little softer, and I'm just actually taking, I'm not putting any additional ink on it, although I think I've kind of reached max there, like it's nothing's coming out, so I might need to add a little bit, but I can kind of make it be a little duller by wiping it off a little bit too. Alright, I'm going to go over a little bit here so we get a little bit more pop to it. You ready for a break? I feel that. Even though I just get back from a break, I still feel that it was an interesting trip. But your school's got to be out soon, right? It was good. Some interesting stuff, but for the most part, it was pretty good. Not quite as relaxing as I'd hoped. Like, it was a lot of kind of go, which is totally fine. It's just, you know, it's not like that. Like, I wanted like a lay on the beach and read type. A little bit of that, you know what I mean? So it was like, it was still fun. Saw a lot of stuff. Really liked Charleston. I would love to go back to the area because I feel like I didn't get to do or see everything. We had a really nice place on like the Isle of Palms. I would have loved to have spent more time there. I'm jealous. I wish I had like an imminent like longer break coming up. Sounds so amazing right now. I do also have like the fire because of like picture to burn, so we're gonna add a little bit of that. But no, overall it was really good. Just like I said, a lot of doing stuff, which is definitely good. It's just a little, it really is. I really loved that. I wish we would have spent more time just hanging out. And I'm an ocean girly, so like anytime I was just like, we were like oceanfront. We were in the resort there, and then like our house was literally right in front of a pool that was right in front of the ocean. And so like our bedroom looked right out onto the ocean, which was amazing. So even if I was just like chilling out in the room, I loved that. That was a lot of fun. We did Fort Sumter, which was I really enjoyed that. Alex and I did a horse tour, which it was nice because it was only 2 of us, so I feel like it wasn't a lot of like people being crazy. It was awesome. I loved that part of it. Like, I loved, the worst part about it though is that while it was right on the ocean and there's great beautiful windows in the whole like room, there was no screens. So I had to be like very judicious about like when I opened it up because I didn't want like bugs and crap flying through. I was a little bummed about that. Like, that's the one thing I was like, if I could have changed anything about that, I would have put screens in the windows so that I could have left those windows open like the entire time. We also didn't have like that warm of weather, which was disappointing for like beach wise, but like for tourism wise, it was great because it was never like so hot that I felt like I was dying. It was, yeah, the no screens was like the biggest thing. I was like, why did you do this? I need screens. I wanna like just enjoy the beach and enjoy the ocean. But like I would go like at night, especially like while I was laying there. I wouldn't sleep with it open, which was sad because like one thing, like if I can sleep with the windows open by the ocean, I'm in heaven. So that was a bummer. I didn't want to because like I said, we were right on, I didn't want like, I mean, I was on the second floor, so it's not like somebody would have like theoretically grabbed a ladder and climbed up, but I just, you know, it was very chilly last week. Luckily, like, it didn't rain as much as it called for, which was great. But, like, for sitting on the beach, like, the weather wasn't ideal for that either. So, but again, like, that was fine. Like, for the touristy part of it, it was great that there wasn't a lot of rain because it wasn't, you know, unbearable temperatures. Which I appreciated. Because while I'm a beach girly, I am not a 10,000 degrees in breathing water girly. Which is why I don't ever want to live in the South. Because that's not my weather. I feel like this is coming together better than I thought it was. When I thought about doing debut, like, I thought there was not going to be enough to do anything fun with. This is funny, I'm using blue, but because there was yellow on here, it's making it look green, which is so funny, because it's actually a really good green for debut. But yeah, we had a lot of good food. We did Fort Sumter, which I really enjoyed. We did a boat tour out to the one lighthouse, which was fun. That was the day. It was kind of like, we didn't plan it very well. I had a lot of research on the stuff, but like, because it was my boyfriend's family and like, I had never really traveled with them, I felt kind of awkward being like, this is what we should do. So I basically just handed over like an 18-page document of like a bunch of suggestions and things to do and all that. And they kind of picked off of that. So I didn't have a lot of say in some of the stuff, which was a little bit, again, a little bit disappointing, but still fun. Had a lot of fun. So we did that until Thursday, and then Thursday afternoon or Thursday morning, Alex and I drove to Savannah for the day and night. And that was nice. We did like a hop on, hop off carriage, or not carriage, trolley car. And then we had dinner at this like restaurant he really wanted to eat at. And it was like kind of old fashioned and it was kind of cool. The hotel we stayed at was nice there. And then Friday we went to my friend on one side of Atlanta. And then Saturday we went to his friend kind of outside of Atlanta, on the other side of it. Kind of like in the foothills of the Appalachians. And then we came home Sunday. So we did a lot of driving. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And I think this might be kind of where I leave this. Well, I do want to add some butterflies because that's definitely part of debut. Yeah, Savannah was really fun. I actually would have liked to stay there a little longer too. I didn't do a ton of research on it because we originally had talked about going to my friend's for like a day and a half and then his friend's for a day and a half. And then my friend was out of town. I didn't realize she was getting home so late on that Thursday, so we decided to pop down to Savannah because his friend worked that night. So it was like a lot of like kind of not last minute, but it was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Okay, I think that's going to be all the stenciling because I feel like there's just a lot there. And once I put stickers on, it's going to be like too much. So let's get to our stickers. I love the truck. Like, I feel like that's very debut coated. So let's get the truck in there. And then Tennessee Swift for sure. And then I feel like you need like the signature Taylor Swift. I definitely want to add a lot of daisies because that's like one thing I didn't get in there. Put one there. Let's get the record. Now I feel like I'm like kind of chugging and plugging. So let's get to some of the bigger ones first. The ghost tour there. Yeah, so I'm not like, I don't like ghost tours. I really don't like ghost tours. But I did think about doing that for Savannah. And I actually would have, except we had reservations at this restaurant at like 10 o'clock. And whatever time the ghost tour, it was like just not long enough after that. Because like we would have had to get dressed and stuff too. So that's basically the main reason we didn't do the ghost tour. And also I'm a baby. House where they filmed the midnight. We did that. We went by that on the trolley tour. We did like the hop on, hop off one. So that was pretty cool because you could like stop at any stop. We stopped at that big church down there too, which I really liked. I'm not like a big church person. But the cathedral was gorgeous. So that was a lot of fun too. I enjoyed that. So yeah, so we had a really good time. Actually had a good time like in the random parts of it. So trying to like, I have this on a bigger one. So I think we're just gonna do this one. And then let's strike a match right in the middle of the, I definitely want to add the I'll be 87, you'll be 89 now. We'll do that right up here with the footballs. And then, also I feel like I don't need that. Let's do some of our other stuff. The trolley tour, yeah, I really enjoyed that. I'm glad we did that. That was kind of a last minute. We like checked in around like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I was like, let's go do this. Because it was like, it might rain, it might be, I didn't want to like be walking around or stuck somewhere in the middle of the rain. So I was like, the trolley tour sounds great. I also was really tired of walking, to be honest. Let's get some boots in here for sure. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. A lot of cool things we saw. We also went to the place where his friend is from. It was like where there was like the first gold rush in the US. And that was kind of cool. It was a cute little like, I don't know, just reminded me of like a western town, even though it was like in Georgia. So yeah. A lot of fun stuff. I enjoyed it. I just am tired. I feel like I like need a vacation from the vacation kind of thing. But I also feel like that happens. So ooh, I like this track. And I like the radio for sure. Alright, I'm gonna save some of these from the inside too, so we'll leave that there. So that's gonna be the outside, and then that'll be the mood tracker and the one good thing a day. I actually kind of love this. I didn't think I was gonna like that as much as I do. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the monthly calendar. What I'd really like to do is also do the inside of... I did have a lot of things going on during vacation. It was intense. All right, I do semi-start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is like the rare time where I'm going to use all 6 of the lines in our thing. It was a little exhausting, I'm not going to lie. I just wish, like, I wish we were closer to Memorial Day so that I could be like, okay, I only have 1 more week and I can have a day off. I can have a 3-day weekend. Sometimes we get off a little earlier on that Friday too, so. Just a quick wipe off of this. There's a lot of yellow in here. Although that wouldn't be bad either. This is the time of year that I start wishing I was a teacher. I would love a good break. Let's see. Doesn't really matter which side we do 4 on. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do it. Should we do it on this side? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6. Because I need to like budget for 6, I guess. Budget? I don't know. Anyway, we'll start at the. Then actually just line it to the bottom. I'm jealous. I need another break, even though I had like a week and a day, a week and a day, or a week and a half a day really, but then we like crammed it between the 2 weekends too, so I just want some time off to read books. Although I will say, like, I feel like I read more when I'm not off because I like audiobook at work, so I guess that's one positive, I suppose. Okay. So let's take our greens. I think I'm gonna mainly stick with these 2 greens because I feel like they look good together. I almost just started. Okay, that was so bad because I didn't tape this off. All right, so we're gonna do 4. So 1, 2. 8, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22 and 23, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Ah, sorry. Washi tape doesn't want to cooperate. Do this one. We did also run by the Savannah Bananas ballpark, specifically because my godson, that's my nephew, loves firefighters and has been getting into baseball, and they have one of the banana ball teams is the Firefighters. And like he loves the color red too. So I was like, oh, this is so perfect. And then we got there and they had everything else I wanted but the firefighter stuff. I was so bummed. But luckily they were like, oh, we ship online and shipping's free. So that was good. And I got him a stuffed dog to go with it and he loved that too. So I think that kind of worked out in his favor. But I was so annoyed when we like first got to Savannah. I was like, let's go to the ballpark first. Like, it's a little farther away before we park our car. And we did, and it was like, the whole reason we went was this. So he definitely lucked out though, because they didn't have a shirt. I bought him a little stuffed Dalmatian dog with a bat in its mouth, and he loved that. And he still got a shirt. So he definitely made out of that bargain, but okay. So there's the first 4. Kind of keeping this simple and just doing 2 colors this time. Yeah, he's definitely got my heart. He has some speech issues, and so like he does speech therapy, and like he has struggled to talk since he was little. So like he's just like my little dude that I love to death. So like, you know, it wasn't really that big of an issue for me to buy him another one, but then I felt bad because everybody else didn't get multiple things, but oh well. That's why he's my godson. Yeah, he has a like a speech processing disorder. It's hard for him, like his like brain to his muscles in his mouth have a hard time. So like he didn't even like really, other than saying like mama, dada, coco, nana, and yes and no, didn't like say much of anything until probably like 6 months ago, 7 months ago. He's like 3.5. But he's been going to speech therapy and he's doing so well. Like, it's so cool, like, to see all the different words he's learning. Just because it's so different than, like, his brother, who's, like, always been sharp as a tack. And, like, not that Tate is not stupid at all, but it's cool to see the progress he makes. Because, like, sometimes he'll say something. Like, when I went to Florida, and they had been down there for a little bit, and the first day that I got in the pool, like, he was saying something, and he's kind of like, Auntie? And I was like, what are you saying? He's like, Auntie Coco? And I was like, are you saying Auntie? And he's like, yeah, Auntie Coco. And I was like, oh my god. Like, this is a new thing. So, he's just really cute. And for that reason, I buy him everything. I also bought him, he loves ducks. Like, he calls them quack quacks. And in Charleston, we went to, there's like a combo museum. There was like the African Slave Museum that we went to first. And then the second was like the Provost Dungeon and something else. And it's like at the place where they signed the Declaration of Independence. And at that place, they had little like Revolutionary War duckies. Like, there was like a George Washington duck, a Ben Franklin duck, and then like a little like, I don't know if it was supposed to be any to be specific or just like a Revolutionary War dude. I buy him everything. So like when I had left, I had told him, because like we had just been in Florida, so like he was like the pool and everything, and he kept saying pool and beach, and I was like, Coco's going to the beach, like I'm leaving you, Alex is taking me away. And he's like, no, stay here. And I was like, well, what do you want me to buy you? And he was like, quack quack, big quack quack. And I was like, well, I don't know if they're gonna have big ducks there. So when I walked in and saw those, I was like, oh, I know what I'm getting. So he got those too. But he kind of shares those with his brothers usually, so that's fine. Oh, I buy him everything. I do. I also buy his older brother, like, a ton of shit because he is very smart and loves learning. And, like, he knows that I know all the countries in the world. And so now that's, like, his goal. So his goal this year was to learn 100 countries, and now he's at, like, 165. He's 6.5. He'll be 7 at the end of this month. So he's almost 7. So now he knows like 100 and some countries, a bunch of capitals. So like I buy him like any kind of like books about the world, about like anything like that, or like cultural type books. I buy him because he's not a huge reader, but he's interested in that. So I buy him all of that. Because like to me, like if you're gonna read, I'll buy you whatever, buddy. But he started liking reading when, like, I think he was just reading the words and not, like, actually, like, comprehending them. So I started making him, like, tell me what everything meant. And, like, if there was a word that I thought he didn't know, I'd be like, okay, what does that mean? And he'd be like, So I'd make him explain it and stuff. But I think then once, like, he started getting books that he really liked, it changed, because then he like wanted to read it. Like he started checking out like different, like there'll be like a book about Russia or a book about Italy or whatever, and like he'll actually want to read those from his school library. So that's nice that he does that too. So I found some like books on I think it was Amazon that I found them, that were like, you know, this little kid is traveling around the world to see all his friends, and they like talk about like the cultures in different countries and like what kind of like food they eat and like what like their parents do and all that kind of stuff. So I always buy him that kind of stuff, because if you're gonna read, like I will buy you 600 books. Like I'll spend all my money on your books. Like don't tempt me with a good time, right? Like so yeah, I make sure he is well stocked too. And then I feel like the other two are just like too young to like, not really. Brody's kind of at the point where he's starting to get a personality, but they're just like not quite there yet. You know what I mean? So I'm saving the massive parts of spoiling them for a little later. Yes, nice. Is there anything you're specifically looking for? There's a lot of books that have just come out that I feel like I'm saving a ton for the readathon, for Monica's readathon. Like, I have a bunch of stuff picked out for that, and I have to like go and like start burning some credits, because there's a lot of stuff that has just recently come out that I want to try to place. I want to kind of like do all of them be like boatish or nautical-y type, or at least like beachy type themed. So I haven't even sat down to look at them, but I have a lot of ideas. And I love books too, so it's like I would love him to be like start being like a reader, you know what I mean? So that's why I always encourage that. Okay, so we'll stick with that for the stenciling on here. Let's add some more stickers. I want this truck, because this truck is awesome. You want to browse for a bit? For sure. And that's what he was saying tonight. He's like, you're so smart, Coco. Like, I want to be smart too. And I was like, well, that's reading, buddy. Like, that's what reading will do for you. If you read a lot, if you ask a lot of questions, like, that's what you got to do if you want to be like that. And he was like, okay. Like, yeah, okay. You better be like that, buddy. I've got like a list of books. Like I think most of them are going to be audio, just because that's the way I'll get through a lot of the, like, at least the readathon books. But I do have a couple that are actually physical books, so. And then I have one that's a physical book, but I also have the audiobook of. But the physical book is so pretty, and it's coming out, I think it's coming out in the next couple of days, actually, on Netflix for, like, Remarkably Bright Creatures. So that might be one of the books I read during the readathon. And then I have one more that I don't have the audio. Oh, shoot, no. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then I need to put the dates in. I do actually really like the just two-toned of these. I feel like maybe sometimes I put too many colors in and it doesn't look quite as good as I want it to sometimes. I'm gonna read your comment in a minute. I don't want to stop counting because I feel like I'll skip a number. 5, 6, 29, 30, 31. Okay. I cannot seem to get into audio. Monica is from Peanut Butter Taco is doing a readathon. The first day is Memorial Day, whatever that date is. I think are you not in her Let's Peanut Butter Talk About Books group? I thought you were. But she's got like a nautical themed readathon. So like all of my books are like watery, like something like that, like somehow themed around water, I guess. And actually a lot of the books that have just come out, I want to go on a bookcation. Yeah, we have our friends group, our second one is going to be this summer. We did like a cozy, like, it wasn't really a vacation. It was just kind of like a in-between in February, but yeah, so she does a reading planner, and then she does like stickers for her readathons and stuff, so it's gonna be fun. And we're actually, not because of this, like it just came up like organically, but we are doing a local silent book club is doing like a they must have got it in a boat on the Detroit River, and is doing like a 2-hour silent book club on a boat in a couple weeks. So like that's actually before the readathon, but we're gonna do that too, so that's really fun. I'm excited about that. And then actually during the week of that readathon, the Detroit Tigers baseball team has their 4th wing night, and we've got tickets to that too, so that'll be really fun too. Yeah, I'm excited. All right, ooh, let's add the picture to burn for sure. I feel like these butterflies. I wish I hadn't put that there because I would put those there. Maybe let's put this somewhere else. Where's my other ones? Yeah, so the silent book club just like rented this random like boat on the Detroit River for like, and you could just sign up, like they opened it up to a bunch of people, which I'm sure that's probably what they had needed to do to like fill it up. And I think it's just gonna be like you read whatever, but we're just gonna bring our books and like take pictures, and I'll probably audiobook because I don't know if being on a boat is gonna be the best time to be reading, but we'll see. Got a little car sick this time. Okay, so this is our whole setup, and since it's only 9 o'clock, I do want to actually here, let's show you that. So that's our opening pages, and then mood tracker and one good line a day, and then the calendar. Since we're so early, I will have time to do, before I tape this in, I'm going to do this week's, and then maybe in next week's if we get far enough, who knows, because I'm doing like quick ones. So I want to do a florally theme this month, basically. And I really like using our big flowers and just doing like, using one flower in several different, like in different colors. I've done this a couple times. Let me pull out last year's, because I'm pretty sure I did this last year, my planner. I don't think that's last year, but I'm pretty sure I've done it in like all of my planners, so maybe not this one. This might be the only one I didn't do it, because this is like my first fully serious planner. Bullet journal that I like really worked on every day. I feel like I'm like, I do this every year, and I'm gonna flip open to all these and none of them are gonna have it. This is so funny. I do this all the time. I'm making a fool out of myself right now. Alright, this one doesn't have it. I think this one should. Okay, so this is kind of a different example of it, but this has a bunch of different ones. But kind of like, oh, I always forget mermaid. Dang it. Oh well. Maybe it's this one. Oh yeah, okay. So this is all one stencil. This is all one stencil, just in different colors. So I think I want to do like that. I think I'll do this one first. I actually love these colors. So let me look at them and so I can see. I think this is definitely dried marigold. This is like a teal. This is a good color purple. One of the lighter ones, I think. We'll do that one. This is definitely a good pink. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Thank you. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it fast. And that's the other thing I like about this one, is it's like super fast to set up, super fast to do, as long as I can find wherever I put my anti-stencils, because I know I just had them. The thing that I like the most about these is that they're like super pretty, super visually, I don't know, visually pretty, I guess, is, let's put some new tape on the back of these. They're just pretty enough that like, it's not a big deal that you only use one stencil, because like all the different colors really give you that like pop of interest. And that's what I like about it. Alright, so for this, what I like to do, first of all, I like to start kind of with like the lightest color. So I'm going to start with that like orangey color. I just find this makes building colors a little easier. To start with like the lightest one. And this is just truly like a really fast, like, throw in as much color as you can, as fast as you can. Hold it down so nothing moves. And move on. This is like my favorite style to do when I'm like, I don't say I'm over it, but like right today where I'm like, I just need to get my layouts done. This is the perfect style because it's fast. It's visually really pretty. And like it never fails that I'm like, when I do this, somebody's like, oh my God, how do you do that? I love that one. Like flipping through my planner specifically. The other thing I need to do, and this is one of the things where I need to get my planner on point. I need to apply because I want to speak at CPC this year. Not speak, but like do a workshop. And I need to get my one or more applications in. All right, so then once you get the first color done, I like to go to the next darkest color, especially if I can find the lid to this one. Yeah, like I think it's like it's just a really pretty and simple. Like look at how quick I did a quarter of the page. And I feel like it takes the decision like fatigue away a little bit. Where you're like, I don't know where I want, what stencil is next. This way. More like that. By doing the darker, like doing it by lightest to darkest, you can start having like these where you put it over it and it'll do a better job covering it. This is one of the reasons that I like continue to make the big flowers. I know they don't fit well on like a regular planner. But for stuff like this, it's amazing because they cover a lot of area. And it's not like a design where you have to be like, is it going the right way? All right. The next thing that really needs love is my reading planner. I really need like a day where I just sit down with that and do nothing but update my reading planner, get all the things done, because it's in rough shape. All right, so there's the first two colors. Next up is our teal. Let's pay for that. Let's get it inked up. Let's get this down. The other thing with this is like if you see that there's like an area where you've got a little bit of ink, you just cover it up. Yeah, mine's bad. I think I actually have like stuff like decorated through April, but I haven't updated the books in there in at least a month minimum, probably more. So that's not good. if I have time this weekend, which is a very, very big if, because between Mother's Day on Sunday and then Saturday we're going out to see my boyfriend's mom. I don't feel like I'm gonna have a lot of time because I still haven't even unpacked from vacation, so I think the likelihood that it'll be this weekend is very low. And if I have time to like stencil, I have a bunch of new releases I need to take pictures of, all kind of like in line with like Monica's readathon. So yeah, it's very likely not gonna happen, but maybe one of these days. I would like my purple brush. I think it has fallen somewhere. I need to clean my office desperately too, so even if I did have time, that's not the best thing I should be doing. Pull out a purple brush from here. And then lastly, we'll just add this little pop of purple in here. Give it a good wide area since we're only doing one. Wow, she's slipping, so I'm like holding on to it for dear life. Especially one like this, I really don't like when it slips because you can see it so easily. Alright, turned out good. Let's just do a quick little border and dividers, and that's how quick a week can be with the big guys, with the big flowers. And that took less than 10 minutes. These are my favorite ones to show you guys because this must have shifted at some point because we have some of it inside the... Doesn't it? I love this. This is my favorite, like simple, kind of mindless, layout to do because it's so easy because you have one stencil, you know, you have to move it around, but it's not that big of a deal how you move it because, you know, it's all going to kind of fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then 2, 3, 5, 10. So like I said, really fast, really easy. So this will be the 4th. Should have done a Star Wars theme. I didn't even think about that. Alright, so really fast sneak peek of that, or not sneak peek, but alright, we'll do one more just so I can have next week planned. And we're gonna do the same, like really fast, one stencil kind of thing, but I kind of want to play with whatever colors I had this same stencil with last time, because I liked those. This one, a little like tropically almost. I think this is Twisted Citron. I believe this is Squeezed Lemonade. It's this color. I don't really know what it is. I think there's two. I think there's a coral and an orange. What we're gonna do. Although I don't think that's the one that I pulled out. Oh yeah, it is. Cool. The other like bullet journal hack I will say is like, once you have a year or two of them, keep your journals near your space that you like to plan in, because sometimes like if you're like, I just don't know what to do, or I don't know colors, like if you have layouts that you liked from other years, like flip through them and find the colors that you liked in there, find, you know, like easy layouts like this that you liked, and go back to them. Like nobody's gonna care. It's your planner. Like I think I've done the same birthday one every year for like 3 or 4 years easily. And you know what? I don't care if people care, because it's my birthday. Alright, so same concept here. I'm gonna start with like the lightest color and build up. Even though these are all kind of like fairly the same kind of colors, but we'll start with yellow. So I think I'm gonna do yellow, then green, and orange, then coral. This does not look like the right yellow. I think it's because of the brush I'm using. It has like caked on darker yellow. Oh yeah, way better. I usually don't care about like mixing the families of colors, but once in a while I'm like, this is not the color it should be. And then the first thing you should do is check the color, check your brush if you're using one that like you haven't cleaned, which I always do because I never clean my brushes. Also, if you haven't washed it down well, which I didn't on this case, and you're using like your anti-stencils or something in the middle to block out your leak, this is what I like to do, is just like hold it in the middle and like hold it for dear life and like stroke outwards. That doesn't sound great, but you get the picture. Okay, next up is green. I think we're gonna have the same problem, so I think I'm just gonna actually use this yellow and let the green kind of mingle. I think once I get enough green ink, it's not going to matter. So then, like, you can see how fast these go, and this is why it's my favorite ones, where, like, when I'm just kind of over it, or, like, I haven't planned in a while, and I just need to, like, get shit done. Put just, like, a little peek of this orange right here. Do the same thing here. And then I'm gonna do this way. So other than bookstore, do you have any other plans for Mother's Day, Cynthia? Okay, so there's our orange. And lastly, we will do, just realized I didn't put these back, so let me pull these back real quick. And then last we'll do the coral. And I think again I'm going to use that orange brush. I shouldn't have done that because this is like my breakfast is my favorite of the day, so that's where. Nice. Are you going out, or will somebody make you breakfast? I really like these colors. They're very, like, summer feeling. I'm digging it. Going out nice. Do you have, like, a favorite spot? Are you trying something new? I'm not a breakfast person, so, like, there's one diner, my boyfriend, he's a breakfast person. He likes, and I'm always like, let's just go there. I know I like their chicken finger pita, and I can order it at, like, 8 a.m. Let's go there. I'm in. Okay, cool. Very fast. And it's still only 9:30. I love that for me. Because I still have a little bit of time. I can take pictures. And I can get in the shower. And I can go to bed at a reasonable-ish time. Usual spot. Nice. Well, happy Mother's Day. My nephew, I was like, what are you getting me for it? Because he was talking about they were doing a Mother's Day project at school. And I was like, well, what are you getting me for Mother's Day? And he was like, you're not a mother. And I'm like, oh, I'm your brother's godmother. He's like, okay, fine. I'm like, thanks, bud. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's a little shit though. He's pretty funny. Either of these. Oh. Alright, and then dates, the 11th. This day, 14th. So then the last thing we'll do after I finish this is I will show you, I'm going to put my pages in for my monthly so we can put through everything. So we got a lot done. So this was this week, or next week, sorry. This will be this week, and then our May monthly, and let's do the tip and tape and get it all done. I have to take some pictures and go take a shower. Scissors. Thank you. All right. So and it was like 3/4 of the way down. I was like, this is perfect. And at the very end, it just like wasn't lined up right. Okay, and then this side. All right, last little bit. All right, so tip and tape's in. Let's do a really quick flip through. So our May, like I said, is the debut Taylor Swift album. So lots of guitars, country-ish type stuff. There's our cover page. That's our mood board. Here's our calendar. That's my one good line a day. Tip and tape is not quite put on well, but we'll keep creasing that over the month and it'll. Then this is this week, and that's next week. And these 2 weeks were both done with one stencil and several colors. So all of that in an hour and a half. So thank you guys for being here. Thanks for being here, Cynthia. I hope you have a happy Mother's Day. My plan is to be here next Tuesday. I haven't sat down and looked at my calendar. If I can't be there Tuesday, I'll be there Wednesday. But the plan is for Tuesday. I'd like to get back to a set day. But the chaos of travel and all that really did a number on me in April. So I'd like to get back to a steady day. So hopefully I'll be able to see you next Tuesday. I'm hoping to have new stuff out by the end of the week. We'll see. I didn't even flip through the new stuff. There's tons of new stuff. But if I am able to get it done, maybe I'll pop on here like this weekend and show you guys. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Hope you liked the stenciling. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. Have a good night, you guys. Bye.